All right, guys. I think I'm on live. So let me go back my thing real quick. Get some chat going over here. Okay, 1 second. Might hear me. Guys. Ooh, that's me. I don't know how else to do this. So me. Okay. I think the chat is here. Now I don't expect anyone to be here, but just in case somebody wants to chime in, you can. Okay, I'm gonna make it a little bit smaller. This is bigger. All right, so we are live, you guys. So I don't know what I'm gonna do at the moment. There's a lot of stuff to talk about in this amazing world of crypto and amazing world of stock market. You know, there's a lot of flavors out here, but I dabble in both, so I feel like I should chime in a little bit here on this. But this is a GameStop centric channel. But as far as so, let me just preface this by saying I don't know how long I'm going to be here. So let's see how many people will join in. But I'm sure you guys will watch it. So don't worry. Nothing much here. But I feel like today might be a long one. So enjoy as much as you can before I feel lazy again and then never come at, never come onto this particular topic ever again. No, but there's to me there's a lot to talk about in terms of GameStop um, earnings and a lot of stuff that is happening right now behind the scene that people have been telling you that this company hasn't done anything right. Again, whether it's a cover story, whether it's some sort of chattering to tell you not to invest in this company or whatever, whether it's paid or whether it's just a natural, inclination on this particular company. It's very controversial to say the least, right? Some people would say that this company is going bankrupt. Some people would say that yes, there's an upside potential that you would never imagine it to be, right? For me, at this junction, I feel like um, GameStop has been through a lot of stuff, the negative sentiments and all that stuff. And if you've been in this company for at least 3 years, you would understand what negativity has been, you know, thrown onto GME. And, you know, uh, as a company, I'm talking about the company here, because price action is going to go wild. It's going to go crazy. And crazy by crazy, I just means that you never know where the price discovery is because there's so much suppression that's happening. Um, and so anytime, and I pick my company based on that. Like I feel like sometimes you have to be a contrarian, you know. And the reason being is that I've seen a lot of similarity between a certain crypto, which is on my title, I'm sure you probably know, and GME, right? Um, to me, the sentiment is still very negative for some reason, right? Now you could draw a conclusion as to why. Well, let me see. Hold on. Let me try to see. Okay, yeah, I am on. Just want to double check my sound here. But anyway, so you could draw the oh my god, I lost my train of thought here. But the negative sentiment, the correlation between the sentiment versus what is happening to the price action, right? Sometimes the price action will you kind of like go way too enthusiastically and then have to come back down to reality, right? And then depends on how many participant is participating at that particular point in time, you're gonna see, upswing, downswing, and all that stuff to really kind of price discovery. It hasn't been discovering in price yet because, oh yeah, because of the suppression. And again, this is why it creates such an opportunity for people who understand the value of something to be true. Okay, so let's say, right now, if you look at the price target for some analysts, when I say some, I mean just one. Let's see here. Let me show you. Right now, like even at this price, at this junction, you only have one analyst covering this, and it's a sell right now. The price target is $10. So, have you ever wondered why? Like, nobody is willing to give GameStop any fair assessment whatsoever. And again, every media, mainstream media out there, what happened? They only quote these people right here. For some reason, oh, there's a price target of $10, so don't worry about, don't, this is highly overvalued, even though, from the point of, right here, it used to be $5, now it's up to $10, but yet the rating is still a sell, right? At what point did this guy, this Michael Pachter or whatever, Wedbush people, tell you to buy, right? And again, so this is what happened when you suppress something so much that any good news, a sneeze, whatever, from X, for example. So if you go, hold on, let me see. If you go on X, hold on, let me go here, right here. Any news regarding, like adding the board of director for, PSA. This is actually a good, legitimate things that GameStop has been doing behind the scene. When people are telling you that leadership doesn't do shit, this is what they've been doing behind the scene to try to add more value to this company for shareholders, right? Previous shareholder or current shareholder, whoever wants to buy at this junction too, right? The whole idea for GameStop leadership is to try to add value to your stock price, and hopefully when you buy it at, right here, the price point is 27, in the future you're going to get a little bit more than 27, right? Depends on what the company can do or leadership can do for you, the business, the added value of, bringing more people in who are in industry expert, right? And on top of that, this is what people don't really want you to kind of like pay attention, because this is actually what's good for the company, is that anytime these people come in, they should not be exchange in value to the point where it would be giving a risk-free reward on shares, on top of what the shareholder, the existing shareholder, like on top of our back, because we are the shareholder here. So in order for any board of director to participate, they have to buy in the share, right? Again, or just not getting any rewarded share whatsoever. So, so that, to me, it's to safeguard the importance. Hold on, to safeguard the existing shareholder, or at least the company, how it's run, the governance, and all that stuff, right? Because you don't want somebody to just coming in, get rewarded shares, and then dump and then leave, right? You want somebody to actually, come in and create some value for shareholder over here. And this structure is very good, because you don't want any takeover here. That is meaningful, kind of like gut the company from within. There's so many companies out there that are like that. Of course, this is a page for GME, but for some reason they kind of give you this Nvidia and Tesla type of thing. So it's kind of curious to me. And again, the comparison between GME and Nvidia and all that stuff, like I'm gonna kind of go touch on that a little bit too. Now, in my right here in my thumbnail, which Moran's already showed in his hold on, guys. I am trying to not that one. I want to hold on. I'm trying to look for. I think it's Intel. Yeah, Intel. Okay, so Fintel. This is the point that I'm like, people need to understand this company a little bit based on, the floats and market structures. And it's more kind of tangent. It has nothing to do with the company per se, but the sentiment is there, right? The original position or the original, hold on, let's see. Not that one. I promise you I have a point here. Okay, so this is institutional shareholder. Okay, now yes, there's more short here. I used to see like 7 short position. Now there's a lot more. I mean, not a lot more, like 2 more short position only here. Sorry, I have my coffee here. Okay, so let's look at this real quick. So of all of the institution that own GME right now, again, this is GME at this particular price point, you could see that most of them are long only. Okay? And then 9 of them are short only. And then 21 of them are long and short. So they're not, again, they just love the volatility of this particular company. And they love to play options and all that stuff, long and short, both of them. Again, hedging. And so, they don't care whether GME is going to 100 or 200. As long as the demand out there, they could play from both sides. So, again, nothing wrong with that. If you want to take advantage of the downside, go ahead, do it. If you could do that, be my guest. And so, but the majority of institutions out there are long. And there's a lot of them. Like 500 institution here. Okay, so if you look at the long position right here, shares long change, you could see that there's 41. Okay, 41 shares being that are long for the institutions, right? So around 40%. I don't know what that means though. I need to kind of do more research. Then long value. I guess this is change, right? Positional change. But the graph that Moran's was showing here, I want to see. Okay, so again, be careful. This is accounted for. What is it? Sorry. Before the split. Okay. So this is not quite accurate representation for this particular graph right here. Because of the split, this particular graph right here should be only down here. Okay. Yes, they will continue to go up in that sense. It is suggesting that the institutions are getting into GameStop higher percentage, but it should only be around here. in terms of dollar amount here. This is shares, okay? The amount of shares. So it's a bit misleading when you know look into this if you don't know the history of um, the company itself, okay? Because we split in four before this happened. So if you account for dollar denomination, oops, sorry about that, dollar denomination, you would get a little bit more accurate. I don't know why I did that. It's a little bit more accurate to say the least. Okay, so just be aware of that. But yes, it is suggestive that the this represents an increase of 100% or more, right? Okay, so there's a lot of institution that they have to buy in. Whether to cover their ETF or whatever, and every years they have to do this, right? And so this might not be because of the companies doing well or anything like that. It's just how the market is structured to be, right? For people who may not be aware of the market structure, they might say, oh, this company is just because of the meme people, right? Again, the narrative is being put out there. Of course, we're all waiting for Ryan Cohen to buy in. Any other board of director that is, you know, Matt Turner. Of course, that's another speculation too, because perhaps there's a reason why he's agreed to come on to GME board of director without compensation, because he bought into the way that the company should run. And I really think that, you know, this particular kind of a way of running companies, publicly traded company now, is going to be a standard. That if you want to come in to the board of director, you need to have a stake in it. Not risk free, but you have to put your money where your mouth is, okay, or where your knowledge is, so that you know you have some skin in the game, so that you don't, you know, self-sabotaging yourself, so to speak, for the benefit of whoever bringing you in to the board of director here. Okay, so let's see. I know, so there's a lot of speculation out there that perhaps, you know, Ryan Cohen's going to buy in at some point, because now Vanguard even hold a lot more GME than him. It used to be he's the single largest shareholder of GameStop, and of course Roaring Kitty as well. I don't know if he already sold that 9 million shares. I speculate that he doesn't, but until he do another YOLO update, we don't know yet. Now the pattern of Roaring Kitty, I feel like he never decreased his position in GameStop. Who knows? You know, he might, you know, like he said, he reserved his right to change his mind. So, hey, this is his conviction, and maybe he doesn't have any conviction anymore if he were to sell. But nonetheless, that doesn't change anything about the company, right? Whether the company is going to be profitable or not. I have a hard time believing that, you know, Roaring Kitty doesn't pay attention to GameStop anymore. At this junction, it hasn't even done half of the things he was expecting GameStop to do. Yes, it did take a long time, you know, a long time. By a long time, I mean long in terms of like 4 years, 3 years. It's been 4 years, right, since Ryan Cohen wrote that that letter to the board. And so yes, it takes that long because we have the most uncertain time in our lives, because look at the debt, the trillions and trillions of dollars in debt right now. So how can we get out of this, right? And so that money has to go somewhere, and I think GameStop's going to take advantage of that. You know, the next cycle. Hopefully, we're not going to get into the Great Depression. Somewhere, somehow. But the fact that GME has $4 billion, I think they're going to be surviving even with that Great Depression talk here. So, of course, there's a lot of sentiment out here. Let's see. Okay, officer sentiment by definition, corporation officer are wait, are corporate inside. Okay, so but unlikely some of other. Wait, am I reading this wrong? Okay, never mind. I'm just reading like the definition of it. Okay, so forecast obviously. So let's see what FinTel is saying about GameStop. Okay. How is this? It's so weird to me that these people, like, I don't know how they account for this. It's laughable to me because, like, they're saying it's only should be worth $8 a share. All right, if that's your sentiment, that's fine. Go ahead, short the hell out of this. But then the projected revenue quarterly by 2026, okay, 2026, this is a year from now, they're gonna be able to um, increase their revenue by $2 billion. But yet, the price target is $8 a share. So that means $8 shares. That means if you were to look at book value for this company, it's even lower in the book value. What? So it makes no sense to me, right? So book value right now. Look at this. Now, before, sure, I might agree with that, might, but that doesn't account for any sentiment whatsoever. But this is egregiously wrong, right? There's some discrepancy here that I don't understand why these people, publish their numbers like this, right? Now, perhaps they are taking account the Great Depression that is looming for us for the next year. That could be the reason why they think it should be at $8 a share. But that's gonna shake a lot of people out. A lot of people out. So remain to be seen, right? And let's see. I hold my share from 40, no, actually 60, down to $10 a share. Never sold it, right? Now, of course, I add, I add. Dollar cost averaging down, doing my thing here, and was able to bring my price target down. And I'm thinking, okay, if the price goes down to this level, will I sell? Of course not. Why would I sell? I wouldn't advocate for people to do that. Of course, I have my moon back and all that stuff. But my trading account I might have to kind of trim some off. And I did kind of do that on Thursday. I went back in on Friday. A little bit too early because I was watching this price action right here. Right here. And I was like, okay, it's going to go up to, around here. What I should have done is wait for the end of the day, which I kind of like, okay, expected it. But I was kind of like seeing this candle right here. I was like, I gotta get back in here. Right. Again, this is my trading account. So around here when it breaks this candle, I kind of promo in around 28 right here. Later on though, I wasn't paying attention, but I did take some profit off of my XRP, not XRP, sorry, XLM. Regretting it a little bit because it's running right now. Would have doubled my money and then went back in on Monday to GME. Hey, what's up, Guy Rosen? New board of director needs to buy. Oh, okay. Is that like a the rules the corporate. I know, like eventually, I'm sure they're gonna try to add more, and it seems like this Nat Turner guy is very passionate about what he's doing. I know people trying to draw some correlation between that and private equity, and I think again, I'm talking about Tony De Niro here. It's kind of ridiculous to like, oh, this guy is somehow now an expert on private equity. Bullshit. And there's oh, 0.72 Steve Cohen. It's like, oh, see, this is private equity too. Why are they not bad and all that stuff? And if you don't understand between the two, and again, I understand why Tony De Niro trying to do that. He's trying to mislead people the wrong way. Now it's up to, whoever's getting into this play to do their own research and have their own conviction in this play, because otherwise you're gonna be swayed both direction, and you're not gonna know what's happening, right? When you see the price going high like this, you're like, oh my god, is it too late? Is it too? It's like no, like you should have buy GameStop here, accumulating, like little by little. The idea of investing is to invest whenever you can, and then wait for it to come to your conviction. I mean, wait for your conviction to come true, right? And so, if you want to FOMO in, yes, you can FOMO in the right time, the right place, the right time. Like, wouldn't anyone want to FOMO in at this price? Of course, everyone want to do that, but they don't. They don't imagine, like, oh, even from here, like I'm sure during this time people were like, oh, going to the moon, right? And then when you buy call option over here, expecting it to go to the moon, and it didn't, you lose every single penny that you put into call option. And then when it go this way, what do you say? This is a shit company, right? So a lot of sentiment comes from traders, you guys. So if you don't understand that, then yeah, I don't know what else to tell you. But anyway, so back to the new board of director. It seems like Guy Rosen here, he uh, is saying that. Oh my goodness, what is happening? Why am I going here? Ah, this is not GameStop. Anyway, so a board of director has to buy into GME. It seems like. Um, if that's the case, yes. I mean, every board of director has to have some skin in the game here in order to operate this company. And I think this is the structure that has to come to every single company from now on, the gold standard for the company. Because again, it used to be if the board of director doesn't have any skin in the game, they could come in and then gut the company from within. They need to hold accountable for what they've done to every publicly traded company. If you're doing it on purpose to break the company from within, then you need to hold liable. At the very least, your wealth should be the proportional to what you risk in this particular company. So, and I support that. How Ryan Cohen and the teams running the company makes sense to me, right? So that's good. Okay, add available time windows. So there's certain time window that they can't buy. Is that what you're trying to say? Yeah. So is it gonna be the nearest future, or it has to be after earnings? I'm thinking it's probably earnings. Yeah. Okay, so with the price action, obviously a lot of people did a lot of charting and all that stuff. I was listening to some gentleman earlier. Now I on and off. I was listening to him as well. I think it was a trading. person. I forgot. Hold on, let me see if I could find it here. Lots of XRP stuff here. Okay, let me see. Which one is the guy? Oh, this guy right here. Now, I'm not gonna play his sound, but again, like this guy do a lot of chart analysis. Sure, whatever, he's the day trader. But sometimes, again, this guy is what is it called? Very short bias. Okay, he already had a position up here saying that we're idiots and all that stuff for buying into MOAS. Okay, I get that. Sure, it's out there for people to understand what this company has been doing, what fighting or whatever. But of course, a lot of people will have those sentiment out there that are, not so good about this company. And the sentiments seems the same. Oh, it would never do this. It would never do that. Oh, Brian Cohen doesn't do anything. All he does is cutting, right? This is the sentiment 2 years ago. That you would never cut yourself to profitability. We are doing that right now, right? So at this junction over here, right at this second, this guy did a analysis over here. And again, these are traders, okay? The sentiment that GME is a shit company comes from traders like this. And people have been losing money. And the same way, people make tons of money, like Rowan Kitty showed, using the call option, would tell you that this company is the best thing ever, right? No matter what happens. And so, my sentiment already about this company. But I just want to show you that there are bulls and bears. And institutions are the same thing. They bet against it, they bet for it, they forced to buy it because, whether it's in this evaluation, if there's enough demand for this stock, you cannot deny it. Like I said, some institutions don't even care what price point it is. As long as they could make money on it, they are going to jump into it. Morantz draw the correlation between Tesla and GameStop. I happen to agree with that because, again, Tesla was the most shorted company in the world at the time when it was down very low in real price. The same way with GME, and Ryan Cohen even addressed it in his letter. Okay, letter to the board of director at the time. It's the most highly shorted because of a reason. Okay, and so going into this company, he was planning to I don't know, again, to me, he just do it because he see the opportunity to make this company better. Okay, I don't think he's there to short, squeeze this thing or anything like that. He just saw the opportunity that perhaps, yes, there might be an opportunity to at least go the opposite direction of the short sentiment here, because yes, there are ways to revive this company, which we've done it already, right, for 4 years. I mean, when I said we, I mean Brian Cohen. And so anytime there's news that will send the price up to this level right here, from $10 to $80 in a couple weeks, this is due to the sentiment of the short squeeze narrative was back here again, and then squeeze is over, and then I think Rowan Kitty was streaming around here somewhere, and so yeah, so the narrative that he was pumping and dumping was shown, that even though he was losing $200 million on his call option, he was still holding, like he didn't. And on top of that, subsequently he exercised his share to get to 9 million shares of GME. And so, who knows? A lot of sentiment down here. But anyway, so go back to this guy. Of course, the sentiment now is that there is no way that GME would ever exceed $30. Remain to be seen. Who knows? Who knows? Howdy, howdy. Hi, Jay. What's up? Thank you for joining. Yes, all is well. All is well. My XRP has come to a little bit higher value. Of course, I'm thinking about taking profit, but I told myself I'm never gonna sell XRP a little bit here. Anyway, off topic. So yeah, I'm doing well. Thank you for tuning in. But anyway, so the sentiment now is that the $30 would never hit, would never come to fruition. This is a pipe dream, right? This is what this guy is saying. This is a pipe dream. He's comparing GME to Nvidia for some reason. It's like, oh, look, Nvidia just show a positive earning. GME would never get to that. It's a pipe dream for us to ever, get to that earning potential. It's like, well, how would you know that? That might be 10 years from now. I mean, I don't understand these people sometimes, but I understand. Like, this guy is trying to sell his course, sell his Discord for 99 cents or whatever. Oh no, $9.99, so $10. If you every single chart interpretation, he would bash people, say, I don't understand why people would be in this particular company saying it's going to the moon and all that stuff. Like, oh well, I mean, I think that's just chattering. But again, from the perspective of a trader, you will never realize the potential that you would have, right? I've done it myself before, and I know how stressful it is to try to time this thing. That's why, it's much better if you do it slowly, buy whenever you can, and then just wait another 10 years. So when I bought into GME, I told myself, I'm going to give myself 10 years, okay? So it's been close to 4 already. When did I get it? Let's see. I have to go back in time. This is GME right here. So I remember $60. So this is where my reference is, give or take. And so this is when I kind of started my portfolio. Then, yes, ever since then I've been dollar cost averaging down. But yeah, 10 years from there. So the year 2031, I would be, kind of thinking about taking profit then. So, because again, I don't know where the potential of this company would go, how much value it's going to bring. No idea. But anyway, be more IB. I don't know what that is, but looks great. Thank you. But yeah, so the valuation of this company is infinite to me at this moment in time, because I don't know. Will it reach ever break 30? Of course, I know it's gonna break it at some point. Currently, it seems like this level here, it's kind of turning into support as we speak. And so if we could stay above this level, I'm sure it's gonna break. And the next level we would be looking at is up here, right? That's gonna be another resistance, perhaps, right? Now if you do a fib retracement from the high up here to the low up here, we've already retraced close to 80% already, or more like 90%. But let's say those wig, let's not take into consideration of the wig. we're actually in the golden retracement right here, right? The gold. So um, it's just a higher probability that it will snap uh, and continue the journey up here again. And I think the fact that altcoin is going crazy now too, I think that there's some correlation. I think my thought here is that when people take profit off of Bitcoin, where do you think the profit would go to? I mean, most people who own Bitcoin are younger folks, right? And younger folks know what GME is, what GME did 4 years ago. So I think we are in the precipice of what happened back in here. Again, I could be wrong. I could be wrong. We are here. And so, yes, all the call option holders going to be here. All the call volatility traders going to be here. Going to turn this into like another glimpse of reality, It's like another pipe dream's coming, right? For these people, it's like, remember when we were here? Oh, you're stupid, you're crazy, you're whatever, right? And again, I'm sure if I was during that time, I'd probably think the same thing. I mean, how can you imagine it comes from $1 to freaking there? Like 120x right there if you buy it at that time. And have the stomach to hold. Can you imagine that? And then they're telling me, oh, it's coming back down here. And then they come back and up. Now, I know, even at this time. Now, uh, to be fair though, at this junction, the market cap was a lot lower. Okay, it was like $250 million market cap at the time. And the valuation back then was $400 million in the book value. And so no wonder this is deep effing value for most people who understand how to evaluate the company, right? And so that's why the narrative that GME or GameStop is dead, it was just too premature for these people, but they have to. I mean, at this junction, I'm sure the short has been loaded up, on their position, thinking that, oh, retail is so stupid. Look. So they've been shorting heavily back here. Okay. The media don't tell you that. Yeah, of course. Good luck trying to find any narrative that will tell you the truth story about this company. Until this day, they rather ignore it and, making documentary after documentary telling you what? That this company is not valuable. Okay. Now, yes, when it shot up like that, obviously the valuation is going to be skewed, just like how it is today. Like now, let's say next week, we're going to skyrocket up to $100 a share. The valuation is going to be skewed. So this is why it's important for Ryan Cohen to at least, release the earnings and then dilute again. When he dilute again, it's gonna, it's gonna cause a lot of turmoil again. It's like, he just killed us and all that stuff. The narrative will begin again next 4 years. The next cycle, so to speak. But I don't worry about that. I understand the value of this company already. I did my research and I've been following it like a hog. And so when you have the conviction that I have in this company, it's hard to shake me away from this. Like again, like I was saying, even from this price point here, even if it comes down to what? Let me see, forecast right here. $8 a share? Like, really? Do you think I'm gonna like not buy more? Knowing that the book value is $10? Come on. And growing as we speak too. And so Again, unless they know that the Great Depression is coming for the next year, then okay, I could see why people would like maybe this is a foretold. But I don't know. Again, anything could happen. I think crypto is going to run like crazy for the next year to at least offset some of the stock market crash. Will this year be the year that crypto and stock market kind of the what is it doesn't run together anymore because there's so much money in the crypto market already. I know, crypto is a new industry, quote unquote, but I think it's becoming mature enough for institution to build on the chain itself. And this is why you see it. You see a lot of enthusiastic about Bitcoin going up to $100,000, and the altcoin season is coming. So let me end on this uh, GME here. I know I'm gonna talk about crypto in a minute here. I know if you're a GME people, see you later. But hold on, let me see. Short interest. Okay, so this is what I want to end on because I had this thought for a while. You guys, like I've been kind of brainstorming. It's like, what are the media's gonna say anymore, right? Now let me start here. I know this is just a report shorted interest that we see on paper. I don't know how they're reporting it now, but the fact that I'm seeing it lower here, that's all I'm willing to say. That currently there's only less than 10% is being shorted. So this is the narrative that they're telling you now. Oh, this time is different because the short interest is low. Let me let me give you a different perspective here. Because before this, let's say, when the short interest was so high, 200%, 100%, more than 100%, at the time, the narrative was like, well, there's a reason why this company is shorted to oblivion because it's the shit company, because it doesn't make money, because it lose money, whatever, right? And so the narrative, on and off would be kind of looming still till this day, right? That there's a reason why it was shorted to oblivion, okay? That the company itself deserve it, okay? So now, why is it that the fact that the short interest is low, nobody is willing to short this anymore? How is it the media hasn't pointed this out, right? That GME has slowly becoming a legitimate company to be scared of, okay? Of shorting, okay? Because no one is willing to short this anymore. Maybe a few retail, like these people right here, right? That think that, oh, this company is shit and all that stuff, right? Retails are doing this as well, not just institution. And I'm sure institution will entice people to buy put and all that stuff and set the fuel up again, in my opinion, right? But again, the fact that there's low short interest is a good thing. And this is why I think institutions are getting slowly back into GME, increasing their holdings, at least, a little bit more than they had, not massively. This is insider. So I'll read your comment in a little bit here. But yeah, so this is why I think they're slowly building their position back up again in GME. If you read the filing here, when did they start to accumulate? Right here, down here. Hold on, you guys, right here. I'm trying to find the date, okay, of starting. I think sometime in September or something. This one doesn't show it. Man. But yeah, so this filing is filed in November, okay? So they were starting their position way before that, before they filed it. And so this is how institutions work. So currently, they probably are selling right now. Who knows, right? And you don't know until the next quarter. So that's the catch-22 here. But you could see the flow of buying versus no, sorry, puts versus call. Okay, and traditionally it's kind of like skewed a certain way. So this time right here, it was skewed towards puts, right? And then this time right here, it was skewed towards call, but the ratio is kind of fluctuating up and down, so to speak. But anyway, so yeah, my point is short interest is low. That means people are scared to short this thing, and this is good for the price discovery. When there's zero short, then we would be able to kind of breathe a little bit better. Price discovery is coming for this stock. I don't know how long, how far, or how high. We could push it, but as far as the company goes, we are doing well. Brian Lopez. It's just like the Big Short. They are positioning themselves before they show the real number. Of course, I don't remember exactly what happened, but I think somebody brought it up. I don't remember. Was it Moran's? I watch a lot of Moran's, so I wouldn't be surprised if it was Moran's. But anyway, so they used to one of those agency, right? They would hold on, let me see if I could show it here. Rating agency, there you go, forecaster. Like, how can I forget Wedbush or whatever? So this rating agency, they would rate, what, subprime mortgage loan. Oh, it's a AAA and all that stuff. There's a reason why they do that. It's because there's a feedback loop. If they don't give the bank a stellar rating, the bank would go to whoever else so they lose business if they don't give the bank a AAA, because the bank could just go to the other rating agency and say, like, hey, rate me. And then if they don't rate Goodwin, they just find another one, right? And so this is the feedback loop. So even though they know that the subprime mortgage loan was terrible, they don't want to rate it as a terrible, because that means they're going to lose that business. And so when it started to become like undeniably bad, they switched their tune, right? It's like, oh, now it's such a terrible thing. And of course, like, they go bankrupt and all that stuff because nobody trusts them anymore. And so the same way is happening right now. I'm sure Wedbush gonna eventually promoting people to buy GameStop because they are forcing themselves to buy GameStop at $1,000 a share because they have to, right? Again, I don't know how far or how high is they gonna let it go, because it's such a there's such a suppression in the stock, swaps and all of that stuff that we don't see behind closed door. But all I'm seeing here is the data that is being projected earnings per share for 2026 right here is actually a good thing. The projecting earnings per share here is higher, but for some reason the price, it doesn't catch up to that. I don't understand it. So again, this is 2025, so they might think they might know something that we don't know. Then perhaps Great Depression is coming. Who knows? But that's usually the best time to buy. If you ever see GameStop at $3, oh man, at $8 a share. Like, yeah, it's gonna scare a lot, even for me too. It's like, oh my god, it's gonna go to zero, right? Nah, you just have to wait for it to appreciate. Wait for people to realize the valuation that the company is doing. PSA graded card is bigger than these people could ever give credit for. I know in this particular video here, this guy was explaining, oh, I don't know what the identity of GameStop is. Are they a trading card company now? I'm like, okay, well, 4 years ago, you don't even imagine they were doing this at all. I mean, not even the investor knows. It's just happening in the background. What makes you think they're not going into something else that is upcoming? And really, this is the transition that I'm gonna get into. I know I'm babbling here. I have no idea how many people are joining still, but yeah. So I'm gonna transition into the blockchain aspect of them, and it's not much of a stretch to think that Jimmy is actually still in the Web3 uh, uh, bandwagon, whatever, whoever you want to say it. That crypto has become legitimized now, right? And so it's not much of a stretch to think that uh, Jimmy's going to turn, the NFT marketplace back up again. So with the new administration, I mean, Trump just won the election, and you see a lot of coins being popping up all over the place, right, including Bitcoin. Now, Bitcoin is the first chain. Obviously, people are gonna keep an eye on it. The first thing you hear about is Bitcoin, 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 right? 10 years ago, Bitcoin is a magic money shitcoin, or it's like what, it doesn't hold any value. Who would want to own this? And right? Whatever. But in terms of the price action, you could see this. Now, I took advantage of this particular cycle, and I know for sure that it's going to happen again. Now, don't take any trade based on that. I just know that myself, that anytime you break an all-time high here, the next cycle is price discovery. Nobody could imagine that it would go up to $64,000 and subsequently close to $70,000. Okay. And so I took advantage of this run right here. And then I went to Ethereum because the altcoin season was right here, right after Bitcoin kind of take a dip. Okay. Take a dip right here. And so what I'm planning to do right now at this moment is to slowly chipping away at altcoin again. Doesn't matter what altcoin you're looking at. I'm not gonna tell you which one to buy. No, whatever. For me, you have to do your own research here because this is still a risky play to me. I just have the conviction that altcoin's gonna run much faster than Bitcoin itself. The reason why why I still look at Bitcoin is because, like, currently I only have like maybe $10 worth of Bitcoin just to track up the price at the moment. Of course, I used to have more. Regret not holding it until now. I used to have close to 2 Bitcoin, you guys. So, but anyway, that's just the past. I've learned my lesson to, at least, and this is why when I'm in GME, I'm telling myself, would never sell until 10 years from now. And so I'm going to hold to my word for that. And again, only a small, a portion of GME that I will hold forever until the end of time. So let me revisit back here. See, I have a certain amount that I'm willing to hold until this happens. So, okay. But of course, I have a trading account too, so I will play the market as it goes. But as far as Bitcoin, though, it's pretty special to me because I see the similarity again. So here, it's kind of this trend line here, of course, when it reached the all-time high. I mean, I draw this line because this should have been the all-time high. Last time, I don't know, again, might be institution, people taking profit, whatever news that happened back then. I forgot already. But I draw this trend line here to see, okay, when it breaks right there, this is the new price discovery point. Of course, Jim Cramer is telling you to buy up here, so people are like, Okay, this is the top of Bitcoin, right? Remember, Jim Cramer tells you to sell GME at $20 a share just recently. So now it's like $9 more. So no, $7 more. So he's notorious at telling people to do the wrong thing the right time. But anyway, so I don't know how high it's gonna go, but if you do the measure move here, and again, it doesn't have to follow the same exact thing because the narrative is different. The news surrounding Bitcoin is different. Okay. Um, the current the current news about Bitcoin, I feel like, is to pump the original bag. Okay, people already been in it beforehand, and they are ready to dump it on retail. Okay, just be careful. I'm not saying it's gonna crash tomorrow here. I really think that they're gonna will try to um, make it go as high as possible. So my thought is 100% from the all-time high. Okay, so let's do that measure again. If the breakout is 100%, again, it doesn't have to be like this. Please don't take any trade based on this analysis. I'm not a technical person here, but it would not be surprising to me if Bitcoin's gonna go to 150 or so. Let's just say psychological level price here. People like even number, okay? So there you go, somewhere around there. So $150,000 per Bitcoin. When that happens, I am going to start accumulate altcoin. Okay, so this is what I plan to be and I plan to do at the moment. Why am I not in Bitcoin? Well, I feel like it's already run. Yes, it could run another 50% from here to try to trap more people, right? But altcoin is where you want to be at this time. Yes, altcoin, let me preface this by saying altcoin will experience downturn quicker than Bitcoin if Bitcoin ever come back to test this trend line again and then go back up. Okay, it happens quickly, so be careful. You might lose. Don't be, put $10 million here and hoping that you're gonna be a billionaire. So just be careful. Don't sell your house. Do anything stupid like that. Okay. All right. The exact same thing you are explaining is what I did last bull run. Okay. You trade in between Bitcoin and sell into Ethereum. Yes, exactly. I took quite a bit of profit, and this is where I got most of my GameStop comes from that actually. Now I did take profit off from AMC run as well. So thank goodness a lot of that portfolio that I have in GameStop right now comes from the profit that I took from Bitcoin at the time. And so I went kind of like heavily over here when it do this thing right here, reach an all-time high. I accumulate up until around here. This is when I took my profit, around $50,000. I remember that number pretty well because I was like, okay, if it's at 50,000, I'm gonna take the majority, and then I have a little bit left here, and then I just sell everything I had. At the time, I don't have that much, you guys, like maybe $7,000 at the time. But that's a lot for me at the time. Oh my God. So I went kind of all into, fading into Ethereum. And, let's fluctuate. I think I did $100 increment at the time. anytime I see Ethereum dip, I just buy 100. Dip 20%, I just buy. Go up 10%, I just buy. So eventually I kind of accumulate to the point where I'm like, okay, I've had enough. And then, I waited uh for Bitcoin to kind of like do its thing right here, up here. And then this is where I kind of like stop investing into Ethereum, and then kind of wait for the next run here. So again, I don't remember at what point I took profit, but yeah, I made 10x, 7x my Ethereum holding. So, but yeah, so I cashed out kind of around here too, like when it kind of reached the close to the all-time high again. Again, had I held everything I have in Ethereum, I would have had a lot more this cycle here, because it just keep going up. Again, like lesson learned, right? You never know when you take profits. You would never know how high it's gonna go. And I'm thinking, um, GameStop is gonna do the same thing. I mean, the fact that GameStop has the business around it too, it's much more valuable than. I know Ethereum's will do well, but I think this cycle is going to be XRP and Stellar Lumen, which is a good segue to get into. But again, hey, I'm not telling you to get into any coin, whatever coins you want to uh, give your attention to. I just so happen to, know a little bit more about this chain than most other chains that just come in and out of the market. I know, people playing off like Shiba Inu and all that stuff. Like those are, yeah, I mean, it's fun to to play those things, but just be careful. I'm sure there's Doge millionaire somewhere around the world, still around. But to me, those coins are not utility based. That's why I'm not in it. I'm looking for a coin that will be here for the next 10 to 20 years. And to me, this is what it is. Hey, Morans, what's up? Play TFT. Okay. That's great. Thank you for tuning in. I'm just talking nonsense here, so you don't want to waste your time. Um, please be on live today, somewhere today. Okay. I know you're working hard right now and you're just playing hard as well. Right now, I hope you enjoy your game. Um, but anyway, so my thought here is that altcoin is going to be a lot better than Bitcoin. And again, I don't advocate anyone to get into this. This is just my own, speculation, highly speculation here. But I think that this coin is much more valuable than any other coins. It might take a long time for people to realize that. I realize that. I've got into XRPs when it was 15 cents. So I'm already 10x my money already. Now, of course, I wish I had more. But I've held XRP since the last cycle, and so I'm so glad that I didn't, well, I should have more XRP actually, but because of the Celsius thing and all that stuff, so nah, that's just I since got my money back already through the Chapter 11, you know, thing. So they distributed my fund back. But at the time, I had XRP in that, and oh my goodness, it's just like I would have had close to 50,000 by now, right? Goodness. So I remember I like even number, right? So I initially, when I got in, remember 15 cents here, okay? When I got 15 cents, I think I got 20,000 coins at the time. I was like, okay, I'm done investing. But I keep buying, chipping a little. At the time, I remember buying at the high as well. around $2 or so. So just chipping in a little bit at a time, and I was able to accumulate maybe another 10,000 or so as I make more money, right? But yeah, $3,000 at the time, and I put some into that the what's it, the Celsius, thinking, okay, they're giving me uh interest, right? And I think it was a legitimate platform at the time. They're trying to build an infrastructure for crypto and all that stuff. But again, yeah, it's just uh, history over here. Like, don't worry about it. But anyway, so I bought into the uh, coin, speculating that it might comes to the point where this chain will be used at some point in the um, financial right here later on, right? And so the ecosystem is being built ever since, you know, and for some reason it's 10x already, right? So of course I would have had more now, but currently, thank goodness, I have some in my own wallet here, so it's still there, and I'm not gonna touch it until another 10 years. Okay, my risk, right? But with this cycle, though, I want to accumulate it a little bit more. Now let's talk about XRP here. Of course, I'm not a technical person here. I'm just doing it based on the knowledge that I had on the chain way before anyone got into it. Okay, so let's talk about it real quick here. I'm looking for a right here. So this is what I know about this chain. Okay, since its inception, it has a max supply. So when it was created, this is what it's all created. So the max supply was 100 million coin. Okay, this is what I'm going by. So at the time, they're trying to get people to transact on it or whatever, because when XRP was created was to solve the problem that Bitcoin has on its chain, because the blockchain, as great as it is proof of work, it needs so much energy to for people to compete for that block to put on the chain. Every transaction has to be verified. Okay, so this is where the energy problem comes in, as many institution or governmental trying to compete for that block to put on the chain. You have to kind of like have the consents, like, hey, if the whole world is trying to use Bitcoin on the chain, the chain on Bitcoin, it's going to take so much, right? Because if you want to be global, you don't want that, transaction per second has to be top notch. So that's why they create XRP, to solve that problem and to scale it much faster, to send it out much faster. Now, the mechanic on this one is a little bit different than proof of work. This is more distributed ledger. Okay, so again, the mechanism is different, but anytime people have been using this to transact, I don't know, again, it hasn't been used to its capacity. Of course, they're trying to get it to that capacity. Again, speculation here, okay? But the ledger in and of itself will be, anytime it's used, it's going to be burned. So this is why you see the total supplies right now at the moment less than what it used to be. Okay, so it will be burned down. So technically, it will be deflationary. Okay, so what's the problem that we have right now for our fiat currency? It's inflationary, and it's seemingly no end to it. So where do you think that money will go towards? It will go towards, things like this, where it's going to be deflationary. So that's why Bitcoin is such a big thing. It's not so much that it would have any utility in that sense. it is because of the function of the world governments out there. They've been printing trillions of dollars every single year. And you see it in the national debt clock, right? US, notorious for this. We are at $1 trillion in debt right now. Like every 3 months or something like that, $1 trillion. And they can't spend that money fast enough, so they have to cause all this chaos. But that's just a politics thing. But the idea is that the money will chase this, okay, this type of asset. So Bitcoin will do well. All of the other coin will do much, much better, because even up until right now, nobody seemingly knowing too much about XRP until it become mainstream. So my point is, in the next 10 years, this is going to be on everybody's mouth. Just like GameStop, the next 10 years is going to be in everybody's mouth too, right? So, but anyway, so all tide lifts all boat type thing, right? I'm sure Jimmy's going to take advantage of this. Hopefully they know a little bit about XRP, how it's better than Ethereum as far as like transaction go. Speed per transaction I'm talking about, okay? I don't know. I know there's a Ethereum lover out there, but I think this cycle is going to be XRP, because XRP used to be the third largest crypto in the world, okay? Currently, it's probably less. I don't know. What do you think? See, look at this. Oh my goodness. Trillions of dollars chasing this thing. And so, and if it's the third largest, so let's just do a little math here, okay? Again, speculation. Please don't take any trade. Don't be crazy. $3 trillion divided by 3. Again, just a ballpark here, okay? If XRP would be taking 30% of the whole entire market, XRP could be $1 trillion. And that's no joke. I think it could happen, okay? So $1 trillion divided by the supply. What is that? $100 billion. So it's just even number here, okay? So it's that this is, oh wait, actually let me, because it's in 0.1 right here, so it's gonna make terrible number. So this is 1 trillion. So 1 trillion is, oh my god, can't even fit into the calculator. I think this is 1 trillion. So, okay, let me redo this. So 1 trillion. Oh my god, what am I doing here? Sorry, guys. Okay, 1 trillion. Let me see. 1 trillion divided by 100 billion. I probably could do this by hand, but 100 billion. That's $10 a pop. Okay. So again, this is why the crazy valuation that comes in. I don't know if that's gonna ever come to fruition, but again, based on what happened before, and again, they're estimating that it will go down to $10 trillion market cap in the next cycle, which is 4 more years. Okay, this coming 4 more years, more money is gonna pour into this thing. Crypto market is going to be crazy. Again, I don't know if that's the sentiment to try to, dump it on retail. But yes, retail is going to come back. It's going to FOMO into this thing. Okay, so be careful. That's why, please understand what crypto are you picking and why you get into it. To me, XRP is going to be around here for the next 10, 15 years, 20 years, building. And people are going to come to this chain to build on it, much like Ethereum, okay? Because it's faster and more scalable than Ethereum. So that's why the valuation is here. Now, with that thought kind of entrenched in your mind, let me read real quick. I'm putting together a live show right now. Okay, good. I will stop my live and then join you in a minute. Okay, great. The man, okay, the legend. Great. I know. Okay, so great. So let's see. So with that thought in mind, though, for you who are still here, uh, this is why XLM is another one that I am also have an eye on. The same exact chain with a slight difference, okay? And the difference is enough for me to be very bullish on this as well. Man, oh my goodness. Oh, why did I sell it? So this morning, not this morning. On Friday, I know that my money is safe, but goodness, I went into GameStop and, I took some profit out of Stella thinking that's going to pull back and then coming back, but it never did. I got it at 25 cents, you guys, and now it's double already. So, whatever. I took some profit. I will scale back in for sure into this chain because I think the narrative now, because of Gary Gensler is gone, okay? That means, again, the suppression that happens in this chain is kind of similar to what happened to GameStop, right? Because around that time, Bitcoin was like the number one thing, the only coin that could exist in the world, right? And people who in Bitcoin and believe in Bitcoin don't want any competition, okay? So the competition comes in when XRP was created. It's the banker coin. It's the what? It's the shit coin, right? The same thing, shitco. That terms kind of trigger me sometimes. Right? It's like, okay, why are they not saying? Why are they saying the same thing here? And so this is the type of investment that I usually get into because there's something to pay attention to. Like when the SEC target XRP, remember who was in Jay Clayton was in that administration, but they give a pass to Ethereum. Why? Right. So again, that's what makes me like, there might be more to XRP than they don't want you to kind of take advantage of this technology. Again, this is a technology because you could transfer value across the sea without trusting the bank to do so. It's a settlement system. It's instant, and it's settled right then and there. So if you short something, you better have the collateral to get into that before you could short something, right? So that's the technology that we're thinking of, that I'm speculating that they're going to use things like XRP or XLM to facilitate that, because they don't like that problem either, you guys. Like, the collateral system that we have in the traditional market is very, very nascent, and it's very subjective. Whoever have the most supply will win all, right? Because they could manipulate the market in that sense. While if it's on the chain, it could be verified, okay? That, okay, this guy really have Bitcoin to short Stellar Lumen or whatever. Or this guy really have, to draw, so if you have Bitcoin and you want to short other coin, you must have Bitcoin on chain in order for you to short certain things, right? It's your prerogative if you want to bet it that way. But if the asset goes against you, let's say you short Stellar Lumen at 20 cents, okay? And now it's like 50 cents. That means your Bitcoin has to be sold in order to buy if you want to close your position, okay, at this junction. So you would lose out the valuation of your Bitcoin, twice as much, right? Again, whatever you get into, you have to understand that. And so your holding on Bitcoin would be sold to buy into Stellar. And price discovery for Stellar would be sound in that sense because there's no suppression there. Like they cannot unless you have a supply of Stellar to dump into the market, then okay, yeah. But it's based on supply and demand and true supply and demand here. There's no, well, again, you could manipulate it in other ways as well, like through media and all that stuff, but the price discovery is still here. Again, perhaps this is a very naive of me to think that there's no manipulation on the coins. But I'm willing to kind of believe that for now, that there's no tampering, right? If the ledger says that I have 3 Bitcoin, or the ledger says that I have, 10,000 lumen here, it would say that. And for me to use that 10,000 lumen, I have to sell it to somebody else who's willing to buy it at 50 cents, right? And so again, the settlement is very instant, and you know who holds what and what's being used to do what. Okay, currently we don't know that. Treasury bonds and all that stuff hold in a swap data and all that stuff that nobody even know what's happening, who owns what. So that's why you have trillions of dollars trapped in that, and they can't get it out. It's illiquid, number one. You have to find a counter a party to take that risk. And if nobody wants to take that risk, you can't move your asset, but to sell it. And this is the problem that we have in the regular market. And that's where, TME come to play as well, is that currently there's a reason why certain level is being defended to death. And if it breaks, it go parabolic, right? Again, institutions are battling this, and we're just watching it happening, right? So it's due to the collateral system. If your collateral is big, and I'm sure Moran's explain a lot more on that if you want to watch Moran's. And yeah, so the blockchain has its own has its function. So anyway, so I'm planning to kind of accumulating this again as it runs. But yeah, very very speculative at the time. But since XRP has twice as the supplies as XLM, I think XLM is gonna do much better in percentage. Okay, rise. So again, I would have doubled my money already if I didn't sell my holding to go into GameStop. Now, unfortunately, I might trim some of my GameStop position here. I know it's pain me to say, but this is in my trading account. Okay, you guys, trading account. I still have my moon back, but I will come back next week. I am still holding out on this run right here to this level, right here. Okay, around $40 or so. I might trim some and build my crypto back up again. So going back to my origin, you guys. Not saying anything. I'm still thinking that GameStop will take advantage of this particular bull run for the crypto front. And I really think that they're going to bring back the NFT marketplace for sure. I don't think that Ryan Cohen is not at least taking a look at the technology that is being built already on the blockchain. Web3 Web3 is still kind of like new, but at least they have more developer working on it. So that's what I'm hoping. Um, so the Bitcoin dominant is going to be half of the market cap here. It will become a little bit more as people moving into Bitcoin ETFs or whatever, right? Demand, supply shock, and all that stuff. When there's a narrative that China just opened up, lifted a ban on Bitcoin. So there's so many millionaires who wants to buy into this to at least because inflation, you know. Again, the narrative is that it's very strong for Bitcoin right now. So and any other coin might not be uh, get to be popular, as much as Bitcoin. When people are taking profit off of Bitcoin, usually they will go into these type of companies, small caps and all that stuff, and also most uh, Bitcoin holders are younger folks, so they're gonna go into GME as well. So I'm also ready for that run as well. Currently, I don't have any call per se, um, like on the buy side. I have some on the sell side, but it's a very short term, up to like $50. Took some profit on that. But hey, if it goes $50 tomorrow, I mean on Monday, yeah, I mean $50 a share. But at least I could get into Stella Lumen and kind of like slowly building my position back up again. Yeah, I'm waiting on that one. So this cycle is gonna be crazy in my opinion. So for all fronts, right? Um, what happened over here? Yeah. So January, I'm sure we are right here on GME here. So by the way, I will kind of end here real quick. I'm gonna kind of grab something to eat here. I'm pretty hungry. 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 Okay. But anyway, so that's my plan. I will come back to you at a later date. Maybe tomorrow. I don't know if I'm gonna be on tomorrow. But real quick though, let's go back to GameStop real quick because I feel like it's not much attention people give to this PSA thing, number and all that stuff, right? Again, I'm just playing with the numbers here. So on the filing of Nat Turner and all that stuff coming into the new board of director, we see that we're actually making this much per month. Okay, $1.5 million per month. I think that's revenue. Not quite sure how they're gonna account for that, but that's huge. So that means if every single card, again, this is through PSA, okay, assuming that if everything single card is a sporting card, again, assumption here, we are actually making 75,000 card, okay, 75,000 per month, per month. Now, if let's say every single card being graded comes from GME, no, sorry, let me rephrase this. So this number is per year. So all I did is just times that by 12. Okay. So per year, we're going 900,000 card. Okay. 900,000 card per year is a lot, you guys. Like people are scoffing at that. Oh, it's only $1 million. And it's only accounted for whatever. Like, people are just crazy and maybe just not understanding things. But anyway, so if you times this number by the card, now Black Friday sale, this is sale per deck, okay, per deck, per pack, whatever. GameStop is selling it at $25. So that account for 22 million dollars per year. So if you were to add, this is PSA graded per year. This is the card that they are selling, assuming that they only sell this amount. Again, there's a lot of assumption here, right? They might be selling less, but it comes out to be $36 million to the revenue. Okay, adding on to the revenue. So that's going to increase the revenue for the next quarter. Hopefully, fourth quarters, we're going to be a lot better than the third quarter. And I really think that we're going to turn green on the third quarter, you guys. So in terms of the operating income, okay, operating income here, we're going to turn green instead of negative whatever, $14 million. It's going to be, why am I in the old one? Let's see, let's go back here. Income. Sorry, guys, I'm babbling here. Could you possibly, oh, sorry, babbling more? Sorry. That's it. So, yes, so the operating income for third quarter, I think we're going to break even or even become positive. Okay. I don't know how much positive, but at least, hey, if PSA is able to bring us this much, I think we're going to be green. You know, at least $2 million. Can we start with 2 million? That's still money, you guys. Like, people don't understand the scalability here. But if you do the trailing 12, look, we already are positive. You know, 3 million already. But in terms of quarter, this is what people just, you know, zoom in for some reason. That quarterly, we need to become positive. And I have no doubt that we are going to turn positive here. Because, I mean, if you look at here, right, comparing, this is third quarter versus second quarter. I mean, we're inching closer, right? So $1 million at a time here. And so if that trajectory going forward, this might be $27 million in the negative on the operating income, okay? Now, that $27 million will be actually covered through the interest that we would have from the $4 billion, assuming that they're still in the marketable security. Who knows, right? Or they might be YOLO into some form of investment. Now, there's a lot of speculation that Ryan Cohen might get into Bitcoin and all that stuff. Hey, I'm not mad if that's the case. But I think he's leaning into PSA more. So perhaps he bought a stake in PSA. Who knows? I mean, that could. Why would PSA board sitting on the board of GameStop? That connection, I think, it's much more plausible than Ryan Cohen buying Bitcoin at this point. Just a speculation here. I mean, you know, it's an easy speculation that I have. Not to say though that Jimmy is not looking into blockchain as a technology itself. So we already have Loopring. Oh yeah, let me see Loopring. I also have Loopring, guys. Yeah, there, Loopring. Yeah, Loopring has been doing pretty well too. So that's the chain that is related to Bitcoin here. Bitcoin related to GME. I'm sure you know oh my goodness, if Ryan Cohen bought into Loopring instead, that's also another good thing. You know why? Because look, if I think info, right? I'm babbling. Sorry, you guys. I was gonna let you guys go. But anyways, real quick. So the max supply of Loopring right now, it's closer to the circulation. Okay, so it's fully diluted or close to fully dilution in terms of how many coins will be pouring into the circulating supply. So there's not much dilution coming from that at all. There's no entity that hold more loop ring than any other entity. So it's all trading, from taking market cap from Ethereum a little bit here. So I think loop ring is going to do well in this cycle as well. So speculation, he might buy into loop ring. Buy Bitcoin when loop ring's going to give you a lot more percentage. And you could use loop ring to facilitate trades on the NFT marketplace. Again, speculation here. I think Ryan, it's less likely for that to happen because he's more conservative with the with his money in terms of like money in GameStop here. Okay, that he's been a good steward of the money already. I mean, if you look at the history of money in the balance sheets here, hardly any spending going on here, which is what you want to see in leadership. You don't want them to make rash decision on, certain things because at the very least, the company, or at least the company's going to survive on the downturn, right? So, I really think that he's moving slowly for a reason because he doesn't know what's happening to the broader market. Whether we're going to have a great depression or not, who knows, right? Anything could happen with the S&P 500 at an all-time high. People are FOMOing in. When the market crash, people are going to be scared. And so raising money in this environment is the right thing to do when the support is there. Now, raising money later on would be the worst thing to do because nobody would want to buy your stock in that sense. So I mean, it's possible that he's going to do another dilution, which hey, I support 100% because that's going to increase the value of my share, of my shareholder equity. Okay, because every time he dilutes, what happened? We get more money into the coffer to do whatever it needs to do. I mean, $4 billion is nothing to scoff at here. People again, like, oh, it's only $4 billion. Okay, all right, we'll see. We'll see what $4 billion could do. Okay, all right, guys. I'm very hungry. I'm gonna grab something to eat, and hopefully, Moran's is on. I'm gonna enjoy the show.